Hey guys, it's J Williams Productions .com coming at you with a video about how to finish tracks. All right, so a couple weeks ago I was on a quest to complete a certain number of videos promoting our upcoming album. We've got an album coming out on August 8th called Golden Ticket, J Williams featuring Rachael. And then I had a health crisis and I've been out of commission for about 2 weeks. So this is going to be my last video about Golden Ticket. Okay, so I figured this would be as good a video as any to just go ahead and get a little bit philosophical with you guys about music production. So there's lots of different schools of thought about this out there in the world of music production. How do you know when a track is complete? When should you stop working on a track? When do you move on to the next track? And this is something that I've given a lot of thought to. So I am someone who, I write a lot of tracks. I'll just put it to you that way. And everything is relative. But, last year I did 110 tracks for the year. That was a combination of instrumental cues and songs. This year, I don't know what I'm on track for. I'm probably on track for something like 70 tracks for the year. So, to sum up my philosophy in terms of how do you know when a track is complete, I'm going to share with you the following two statements and then discuss them. So, I don't know if I can see how this is going to show up for you guys. If you can see it, which way to hold it. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, that's backwards, isn't it? Well, okay, that didn't help you at all because that's backwards. But I guess it's because of the camera I'm using. Anyhow, so here's what it says, even though you can't read it. The top box says good is the enemy of great. All right, so what does that mean? And again, we're talking about music production. We're talking about finishing tracks. How do you know a track is done? Good is the enemy of great. So what does that mean, guys? Simply, it means this. When you hear a track or you're working on a track, a song idea, and you've got it to the point where it's good, like you feel like you've got a good track there, don't stop, right? Good is the enemy of great. Okay, so don't stop. Keep working on the track until it's great. Now, how do you know when to stop? Well, in my personal opinion, the other factor that you need to consider, and again, you won't be able to read this because it's backwards or in mirror script, but I did write it down. Maybe if you're clever enough. All right. Sorry that it's backwards. Perfect is the enemy of creativity. Perfect is the enemy of creativity. All right. So that should kind of tell you exactly what my personal philosophy is on finishing tracks. I can make a good track, or I can make a great track, or I can strive for a perfect track. Generally, you know which one I'm going for. It's going to be a great track, right? I'm not going to stop and release a track that I think is just good. Good is the enemy of great. By the same standpoint, if I've got a track to the point where I feel it's great, it's got a good emotional impact, it's conveying the story that I want it to convey, it's doing everything that I want it to do, just on a gut emotional level, that is a great track. And that's a track I'm going to release into the world. Okay? A perfect track, I don't know that a perfect track exists. Okay? There are tracks that I hear today that I completed a few months ago. And do I hear a couple of things that could be tweaked? Absolutely. Tracks that I'm working on right now, I don't consider to be perfect, but I get them to the point where they're great, right? So a couple of specific, actually I'll give you one specific example, two specific examples of songs that I've made over the years. And by the way, stopping when a track is great doesn't mean that you can't go back and refix it. Doesn't mean that if you listen to it, on a different set of speakers and all of a sudden you're hearing something stand out in the mix that you didn't hear in your monitor speakers or your headsets, go back and change it. Like there's nothing that says that you can't do that, right? So when I think of working with Heather in particular, there was a track that's not on this album that we did a couple years ago called Watch Me. And that particular track, I was really focused on getting better at a certain aspect of music production or vocal production. And I must have sent Heather 10, maybe even a dozen different versions of that particular song, each time declaring, this is it, this is the absolute last one, this is the one. But what happened through that process was I leveled up in a very specific area of vocal production, processing vocals, right? So that was a track called Watch Me. It's on Spotify right now. Female empowerment tune. I love it. It's one of my favorites. But going back to the album that's coming out on Saturday. Yep, Saturday, August 8th. There's an album coming out. It's called Golden Ticket. Jay Williams, that's my artist name, featuring Heather Rachael. And there's a particular song called Doormat. So the way Doormat came about, I was on an internet forum somewhere, and there was someone who had a phrase, something about how they're not a doormat, they shouldn't be treated as a doormat. And I sat down and wrote the instrumental bed to that, and it was an instrumental. It was an instrumental for 2-3 months. And then finally started working with a new, to me, collaborator by the name of Ann House. What's up, Ann? Also from Taxi. And so when I started working with Ann, we completed a track with Lou Lewis, and I had this track out there called Doormat, and I thought, well, let's see how Ann does with lyrics. So I tagged Ann in for the lyrics for Doormat, answered my question. The answer is she does an excellent job with lyrics. Thank you, Ann. And we sent it off to Heather. She sent it back, and I had everything that I needed for a good track, right? The thing to keep in mind when you're working with software, like I use FL Studio 20, it's not like where you, say back in the day where maybe you were recording to physical media, like tape, and if you wanted to quickly change instrumentation, it wasn't that easy to do. Well, here in the year 2020, and in the case of finishing up this particular track called Doormat, that track lived on my mixing board maybe 3 or 4 nights longer than most tracks do, because there was something about Heather's vocals and the way they were playing with the instrumentation that I wanted to get it really dialed in and get it from good to great. And I knew, and I just kind of tinkered with it a little bit one night, go to sleep, let the ears rest, revisit it the next day, tinker with it just a little bit more. Is it better or is it worse? What has the most emotional impact, right? And that's basically, at the end of the day, guys, just to sum the whole thing up, how you know a song is ready, how you know it's done for now, is when it has the greatest emotional impact that you can get out of that song without tinkering with it to death. Okay? So that's my personal philosophy. I hope that helps you if you're someone who struggles to finish tracks or doesn't know, how to finish a track. This is something that works well for me. I hope it works well for you. I hope you guys will check out my album. I'm very excited about it. I'm 51 years old. So you could well and truly say that this is an album that's more than 50 years in the making. As someone who doesn't really have instrumental ability, nor can I really sing, I never thought that I would be able to do this. So due to the wonders of technology, I've been able to partner with collaborators who appear on this particular album. And we'll go ahead and give a shout out and then tell you guys how to check it out. And again, before I forget, thanks for watching my YouTube channel. I will have lots more content on the way. I'm kind of in slow motion right now, so it'll take a little while for me to get up to speed. But I got lots of good stuff for you guys. Please subscribe, do that thumbs up thing, and hit the bell. This album could not have been possible without the Taxi forum. So I want to give a shout out to Michael Lasko, everybody at Taxi, and everybody that worked on this album. As a matter of fact, we all found each other on the Taxi forums. So if you're a new producer, specifically, or if you're interested in the world of commercial licensing, I recommend that you check out the Taxi organization there at taximusic.com, I believe, is their website. So Heather, Rachael, love working with you, as always. Noell Romeo, of course, and Ann House for lyrics on this one. And our final track is one of the first tracks that I did with Heather, and it's a track from one of my favorite songwriters, Irwin Abrigo. So Heather, Ann, Noell, Irwin, Taxi, thank you so much, everyone. Couldn't have made this without you. Please check out the album, dropping on Saturday. Easiest way to find us is at bit.ly/Spotify J. That's bit.ly/Spotify JAY. All right, guys. Keep it groovy and make good music. I'll talk to you later. No, wait. I should say that again. Keep it groovy and make great music. There we go. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. JWilliamsProductions.com.